Welcome to the Njurati studio. We're located at the CTICC for the Africa Utility Week 2014. And here with us, we have Dr. Oladele Amoda. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And he is the Managing Director, CEO, Board Member of the Presidential Task Force on Power for the Eko Electricity Distribution. Did I get all of that right?
Right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. There are some major changes going on in the electrical industry in Nigeria at the moment.
Right.
Please expand on it and tell us what's going on there.
Well, government decided to privatize the
Yes.
power industry, the generation, and distribution companies in Nigeria, because government will not go further to fund the activities of this company. And in order to bring in efficiency and progress in the company, government decided to privatize. So in November 2013, all the generation companies and distribution companies were privatized. That's a wholesale privatization effort, in Nigeria. And Eko Electricity Distribution Company is one of the 11 discos, distribution companies that were privatized. And we are located in the southern part of Lagos. Lagos happens to be the economic capital of Nigeria. That's where all the activities are, business activities are mainly going on. Well, we took over as a private concern in November, and we met a lot of challenges, no doubt, because the power industry has been, was neglected for over 20 years without much investment. And what we are trying to do now is to look at the assets that we have taken over, to look at how to rehabilitate some, replace some obsolete equipment, automate the network, get meters for customers, because right now about 50% of the customers are not having functional meters.
Now that was a shocking number. I mean, that is a huge loss for the utility. So people are drawing electricity, they're on the grid, but it's not being metered. What's happened to the meters? Were they just they just never delivered, or were they tampered with, or what's happening?
When government was running the industry, they were supposed to provide, meters to the customer, but that was not being done that time. So that bring about a huge gap in metering, and most of those meters in years back, those meters have become obsolete. Most of them have become obsolete, and integrity is no longer cannot be confirmed. So in effect, we are losing a lot of energy, revenue that we're supposed to have. So what we have decided to do in Eko is to meter all our customers, which is almost 500,000 customers. Right now, maybe about 300 or 250.
Will you be replacing existing ones with new meters?
We are replacing, because we are not sure of the integrity of the old meters. We want to be sure from now, as we have taken over, to make sure that every customer have functional meters that we are sure of. We don't want to cheat the customer, and we don't want to lose revenue at the same time.
Yes, of course.
And
how long is this going to take?
Of course, we are going to, a modern metering system. So, that's why, we want to go that way.
Okay. How long do you think this is going to take, this rollout?
It's a lot of activities that we have planned to do. One on infrastructure development and rehabilitation, our network. We need to rehabilitate them. We need to replace obsolete assets. We need to construct new lines. We need to replace transformers and so on. And in addition to that, the metering aspect, which is very, for revenue protection, we have to do that. We are committing about $45,000, $1 million every year
yes.
in the next 5 years.
Fantastic.
To take care of.
Where's that money coming from?
Well, the money is coming from loans. Facilities from local banks.
Yes,
unfortunately, we couldn't get international.
And that's all local, so local and international investments.
And the investors fund.
Right.
Yeah. So they are pulling all the resources together, for this.
Was it easy to get that investment?
From the banks?
Did it take quite a while to apply for it?
Well, the initial investment to purchase the assets, was pretty, though long, but at least it was granted.
It came eventually.
But well, for us, we are lucky because we were able to get the credit facility that we required, at least for this assignment. But for other discos, they might not be as lucky as we are because the local banks are now skeptical. They are thinking of how the money will be paid back.
Okay.
Because the one already granted, they don't even know how to
it's fair enough, I suppose.
the money because of some challenges that the discos are facing.
Okay.
Because the returns, the revenue is not coming as expected.
Okay, all right.
Because of some challenges, energy theft, meters that are not functional and all that.
What meters is everybody going to be getting? Is it going to be the same across the board for commercial and residential? Everyone's going to get the same type of meter?
No.
Smart meters?
For commercial, there are several
They'll have a different
types of meter.
What type of meters are the residential areas looking at?
For the residential area, we have this.
It's like a prepaid
prepaid
meter?
Mostly prepaid meters, for residential. For commercial, we have high voltage, meters, which, in fact, we are about to commence installation now. Maybe from next month, we start deploying to the high voltage customers, the industrial customers, because 70% of our revenue comes from that.
From the big industries?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We want to protect that one first and ensure that our revenue stream, is, ascertained.
Okay.
Then we now move to the residential customers. Yeah.
How is the privatization, of the industry benefiting the customer?
Yeah, it's benefiting the customer in so many ways, because right now we can instantly, attend to customers' concerns, faults, or whatever they require. In those days, when it was under government, you have to wait until government, gives some. But right now, we engage with the customer, and hear their news. What their needs are. Try to develop our facilities in their area, so that because that's our focus in Eko. Customer is our main focus now, to make the customer happy, to be able to provide services, improve services, to them. Though we are still having challenge, but we are taking off gradually to be able to service all our customers very well.
Okay. Beforehand, did they also, the people who had or have meters, is it all prepaid as well? So it wasn't like they were getting incorrect billing or anything. They had a prepaid meter all along. The ones who had it.
Out of our customer population now, those that have meter, about half of them are on prepaid.
Okay. All right.
Others on on analog meter. But at the end of the day, we're going to replace all meters.
Okay.
And go for some of these, new smart meters and.
Now that's what I wanted to ask, because you have your prepaid meter and then you have your prepaid smart meter, which just helps a little bit more with regards to asset management. So it'll pick up any tampering or if maybe the electricity has gone down in an area or. So that's where you are looking at? You're looking at the prepaid smart meter as opposed to just the bog standard prepaid?
Prepaid smart meters will achieve so many things for us.
Yes.
revenue protection,
yes,
asset management, and of course, energy, saving features.
yes,
Because we are going to limit consumption of customers.
yes,
We don't want them. We're not limiting it directly, but
yeah,
at least when they know that they can save money
yeah,
when they save energy,
yeah, yeah,
then that limits their consumption to what they actually need.
yes,
Because right now, you can see customers, especially those without functional meters, they can put up every
right,
gadget in their homes
yeah,
on and then go to work.
Okay, all right.
So that's, energy.
So that is definitely the way
wastage.
to go.
Yeah. So we are looking at conservation of energy as a means of, making sure that we are energy efficient.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's not just about creating the capacity and generation, isn't it? It's also a level of energy efficiency that comes into it as well.
Yeah. We have shortfall
yes,
in generation output to the grid now, because right now we are able to. We have the capacity to take 700 megawatts in our company.
Right.
I mean, our network.
Right.
But what we get from the grid is between 300, sometimes lower than 300.
Not enough.
Yeah. So what we are doing is because of the inherent problems on the upstream, transmission, generation. Generation is not getting enough gas to be able to run at at the peak. Then transmission to have problem with the capacity of the lines to wheel the power. But they are working. They are doing something about it. But it will take some time. But what we are doing right now is to look at supplementing whatever we get from the grid through embedded generation.
Okay, right.
And captive power from industries that are producing in excess of what they require.
Yeah.
Embedded generation, we are encouraging, companies to come and set up plants, to generate electricity and sell to us directly without going through.
So we're talking about distributed generation, perhaps microgrids.
Yeah.
So you're actually looking at on-site generation as well, and then feeding that back into the grid.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting question, because there's quite a big trend towards that in Europe, and it seems to be moving here as well in Africa. Probably mainly because we are so low on generation capacity.
Right, yeah.
Where do you see this trend going? Where does that leave the utility? What happens if you start getting these big industries going off grid, maybe altogether, and generating their own power? Have you looked at that? Is there a business model in place for that?
Yeah, right now, most companies, because of the unreliability of power, they have their own, generators.
So it's already a reality.
Yeah. So they have their own generator, but they are running the generator, at a very high cost.
Yeah.
So when we improve on our ability to give them supply, definitely they will come back to us, because we are going to give them at much cheaper and regulated price.
Okay. All right.
So
there'll be more incentive for them.
We can't just fix price.
Yep.
It has to be in line with the regulated, prices. So that is the thing.
Of course.
So that will make them come back to us eventually.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Once we are able to, assure them of constant power, then they will come back.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like a very good business plan.
Right,
just to use you as a roaming reporter, are there any trends or opportunities or exciting things that you've seen? Perhaps there's something that's been rather disappointing, maybe that hasn't changed much.
You mean
within the confines of the conference,
no, I think,
with talks that you've had and what you've seen?
I've been attending the African utility, for some time now. I think every year there's something new. Yeah. There are always improvements in, like the CEO forum was, commenced last year. Yep. I was there, and this year, we had the opportunity of interacting with other operators from all over Africa, and we are learning from each other, best practices and all,
nice.
all
So sharing
that.
experiences.
And, yes, sharing experience.
Yeah.
And looking around here,
yeah.
I've
yeah.
also seen
yeah.
some new addition, you know, into the exhibition hall and the conference itself. You know, the conference, you know, program
yes.
is I think is advancing.
That's
year
fantastic to hear. Well, that's really good.
Right.
It sounds like the continent is undergoing a major change with regards to energy development, and
it's going to go a long way at accelerating, you know, the power delivery in Africa. You know,
So we're moving along, so that's a good thing. Plenty of opportunities on the rise, and hopefully they'll be harnessed, and the energy development will just keep going forward.
Right.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and that you enjoy much success from it. To our viewers, thank you very much for joining us. Please know that there are other interviews online over the next 2 days of the conference, so please do enjoy them. Thank you.
Thank you.